sorry if I look like crap. I haven't really slept well since watching Jake Paul beat up Mike Tyson. That was like the most depressing thing I've witnessed in a long freaking time. But anyways, today Dangerville is gonna teach us why freaking Godzilla's so like depressed and sad all the time. The dude's never once been happy for like hundreds of millions of years. So leave a like on the video, subscribe to Dangerville because they're freaking awesome. We gotta get them to 1 million real bad. And let's get into it. All right.
The original Godzilla once had a family, an entire species to surround himself with. Until one horrible day, it was all taken from him. He would now forever be alone. Since 1954,
relatable.
One monster has towered above all others as the definitive indomitable king. Feared the world over as an unstoppable force of nature, Godzilla has been on an unwavering mission to bring ruin to humanity and dominate the Earth. But what is the cause of Godzilla's rage and deliberate targeting of humanity time and time again?
I thought it was just
Why
racist.
does Toho prefer that Godzilla be alone in the world instead of part of a larger species? Well, there is a reason, and it's quite tragic. We've brought this devastating event in which Godzilla's entire family and species were wiped out to life. A visualization that until now was left to the imagination, with only a couple of images ever created by Toho. Speaking of Toho, let's delve into the creation of this horrible moment and how it set the groundwork for the future of Godzilla as we know him.
This is some scary music.
Most of us know the origin story. In 1948, an atomic bomb was detonated during weapons testing off the coast of Japan, mutating Godzilla. This radiation exposure made him much larger and gave him special abilities, such as his heat ray and healing factor, but that's only part of the story. In the book, Godzilla Introduction Definitive Edition, the creator of the character of Godzilla, Tomoyuki Tanaka, writes of a side of Godzilla we had never considered before. Long before the King of the Monsters took his crown, Godzilla was part of a small but thriving species. Tanaka describes many dinosaur-like creatures living in the deep waters and cave systems near Odo Island.
They look adorable.
With humans. These other members of Godzilla's species seldom interacted with humans, but were both respected and feared by natives and fishermen. The people of Odo Island named the creatures Gojira. Tanaka in the book doesn't delve too deep into the day-to-day activities of the Gojira species, but with the bits and pieces of art and information, we can assume the Gojira species would have operated similar to real-world ocean creatures like whales.
I feel like they would not have survived the social media era. Even after the nukes, once it got out that these things existed, hell no, bro.
This could likely be due to the Gojira sharing a similar size to that of whales. Remembering that this was before Godzilla was mutated into the over 150-foot monster we see in the film. And just like how many whales migrate across the planet, the Gojira would occasionally leave their island cave systems and venture out to the deep sea of the Pacific in search for things to eat.
Damn!
Analyzing the old concept art shows us that these creatures lived in relative harmony with one another.
Well then what the hell's Toho got that rule where Godzilla can't eat food for, bro? That's what I need explained to me.
And may have even formed close-knit communities that lived and flourished together. But as familiar and inviting as this community of Gojira might have been to us, they were still beasts that lived up to their monstrous reputation. As described in the 1954 film, the natives would offer young girls as a sacrifice to these creatures to maintain peace.
Man, that's crazy.
Eventually the practice would cease, but the legend of the creatures remained.
Why do Godzillas keep attacking? We keep giving them virgins. What else do they want? I don't think they want virgins, man.
Even in modern times, fueled by mysterious sightings and the occasional disappearing fishing boat. But as Tanaka continues in his writing, this harmony would come to a violent end.
Can you imagine your daughter? You have a daughter, like your little darling you've birthed and made, and then they're like, yeah, we're gonna sacrifice her to a sea monster. But what the hell is going on around here?
When the latest and more powerful atomic weapons were detonated in 1948, it completely destroyed the Gojira species. All but one.
Well, good, they were eating all
This is how the worst
virgins
day in Godzilla's
anyways.
life may have played out.
What if they just got that big and radioactive from eating all the virgins? I'm freaking so obsessed with that one point. I forgot that's a part in, like, the first movie. And you always have like the elders who are like, no, we have to keep doing it. And the young people would be seen as like hippies. Those damn liberals and they're not wanting to sacrifice women to the great sea beasts. Their new age ways are gonna get us killed. That'd be crazy, dude. If some old guy kept trying to grab my daughter and like sacrifice her. I'd throw hands. I'm not gonna just do that. What the hell? Sacrifice your daughter. They look magnificent. They say that's why the ocean is salty from all the Godzilla piss. That is magnificent. Honestly, though, it's like, it was for the best. You know what I mean? Because if this was the Godzilla species when other kaiju started attacking, then humanity wouldn't stand a chance. Like if those Final Wars aliens, I always forget the name of them. If those dudes showed up with like Gigan or something, we'd be cooked. Damn, bro, they killed his wife. Well, that's adorable. Oh, well, this just makes us look like huge dickheads. Anti-American propaganda. Damn, bro. Oh no, not a mother shielding her child and then getting turned into nuclear vapor. So he's basically the Punisher.
In moments, the underwater cave system where the Gojira community lived was obliterated by the power of the atom bomb. The explosion ripped through the caves. Its inhabitants, save for Godzilla himself, were all disintegrated. In the wake of the atomic blast, a monster was born. Now scarred, burned, and filled with rage at the sight of his dead family.
Well, yeah, I'd be pretty pissed too.
Knew who was to blame. Biding his time, healing, growing and realizing new power, he would emerge as a blight against the world. Revenge would be his. Invading Japan, Godzilla would destroy everything in his path, leaving only when satisfied with the horrific scene he created.
This is a crazy video.
Effective against Godzilla, and for the first time, it seemed that nothing humanity could muster would save them. It would take the courage and ultimate sacrifice of Japan's best and brightest to conceive a plan that would destroy Godzilla without plunging the world into another arms race. While humanity would be victorious, the cost was high. However, it seemed the debt humanity owed to Godzilla had been paid. Now Japan could look towards a future reborn from the ashes.
Or so they thought.
This humanization of Godzilla helps put his story into better perspective. While it was hinted at in the films and expanded material, knowing that Godzilla's entire family and species are gone as a result of the atomic weapons ties his origin even more closely with the post-World War II sentiments of Japan. When the atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the devastation they caused went beyond the initial blasts that leveled these cities. Survivors of these events often counted those who perished in the blasts as lucky, for those who survived endured hell on Earth. Since the start of the scientific age, storytellers have used monsters to help cope with an uncomfortable and dangerous reality. The creation of Godzilla was a way to cope and express the horror Japan experienced and the pain it still felt. This is also why Toho generally prefers that Godzilla be depicted alone, as if there were more than one Godzilla, it would undermine his character's own creation. While
I get that, but could Toho have said something before we had like 5 years of MonsterVerse comics where Godzilla had a whole family and the whole species war between the Kongs and the Godzillas and now there's one left and we had a whole storyline going and now they just pooped all over it because we have to learn lessons?
While we revel in the movies and merch that have brought so much joy to fans of the world spanning multiple generations, it's important to remember where Godzilla came from and what these stories have taught us. While history never repeats, it does echo. Hopefully, Godzilla has helped us better understand the impact we can have on the world and each other.
Hate to be that guy, but history repeats a lot. Human lifespan's very short. That's why we repeat cycles every like 80 years or so. We're coming up on World War III, baby. We're about to have a whole new franchise of kaiju.
In truth, we'd prefer a world where Godzilla is just not needed. Only time will tell. If you're still here, I assume you've enjoyed this video, and we thank you all for giving us your time. If you're new, we would love to see you subscribe and become a resident of Dangerville today. And if you want more videos like this, where we go all out with animations and storytelling, consider becoming a member, and you can help us produce these videos faster and even better. Everyone, this has been Jacob, and I'll see you in the next one.
You all should absolutely subscribe to Dangerville so you can watch these videos without me screaming about periods in the corner. Although some people do appreciate good period talk. It is on all of our minds all the time. We should discuss it more often. That was a beautiful video, though. This, like, animation of Godzilla's family being de-atomized is crazy as hell. Plus, like, the follow-up bit where his eye turns all atomic blue after. That's peak cinema right there, baby. I do feel pretty bad that we vaporized Godzilla's family. I was really not in charge of, like, nuclear weapon testing back in those days. I wasn't even alive yet. So, like, at a certain point, I actually feel no guilt or blame whatsoever, as I took zero part in this whatsoever. But it is sad that it happened. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if Monster Zero thawed out and Godzilla was never big, we'd be in serious trouble. It's one of those things where it's like, it's sad that his family had to die, but now that he's here, he's saving millions of lives. It's a good origin story is what it is. The baby shielding its like self and looking away from the blast while the mom roars at it as like it's some freaking invading force is absolutely heartbreaking, though. Dangerville did freaking amazing on this. Either way, though, leave a like and subscribe for more stuff. Subscribe to Dangerville because they make awesome Godzilla stuff, and I'll see you next time.